Attention, stations on the network. Our broadcast will begin in 5 minutes from my mark. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. That was your 5-minute time check, stations. Attention, stations on the network. Our broadcast will begin in 2 minutes from my mark. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. That was your 2-minute time check, stations. Attention, stations on the network. Our broadcast will begin in 1 minute from my mark. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. That was your 1-minute time check, stations.
On the Bobcat Sports Network from Learfield, this is Cat Chat with Matt Logie and Tricia Binford, presented by Montana's Rib and Chop House. Here's the voice of the Bobcats, Keaton Gillogly.
All right, hello, and welcome live to Montana's Rib and Chop House. All right, beautiful sight to see all these Bobcat fans at Montana's Rib and Chop House on this Tuesday night, the second of our 9 shows as we work our way all the way out to Boise through the twists and turns of a lovely Big Sky basketball season. First of all, everybody in the house hearing us okay? Not too loud, not too quiet, sounding good, sounding clear? All right, that's what we like to see. All right, we're going to talk some women's basketball a little bit. Head coach Tricia Binford is here as always. Our player guest on the women's side is Dylan Philip. So we're talking to Dylan Philip and Tricia Binford. And Bryce Zephir is our men's guest today. And, of course, we have some raffle prizes, some Bobcat gear, some gift cards, and some other stuff we will give away in person here with some raffle tickets, which are free. So if you didn't get any raffle tickets, come tackle Roger. He's in the gray pullover. He's got the raffle tickets if you need them. All right, again, I'm Keaton Gillogly, and we are joined first by men's head coach Matt Logie. Coach, how we doing? How we feeling?
Feeling good. How we doing, Bobcats?
All right, another big old crowd in front of us.
Hey, we need it. We can't thank you guys enough. We had a great crowd in the Brick on Saturday night, and boy, did we need it. Our guys really rallied with that support behind them, and it's a beautiful thing to see when you see it, so we appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Yeah, it was the biggest crowd of the year on Saturday. How many people here tonight, by a round of applause, were at that game on Saturday? Anybody here was there? Yeah, there was plenty of people there, and I know you all are going to be coming out for the women this weekend as well. They play on Thursday and Saturday, and the men are playing on Monday. But, yeah, Coach, look, I mean, we don't want to sit here and wax too poetically about it, but, I mean, in a lot of ways, this game on Saturday kind of reminded me of that Portland State game last year. Came home on a 4-game losing streak, turned things around with a great win, another great crowd. I mean, it's a real thing when you're off on the wrong foot, but that crowd didn't need a whole lot to get loud on Saturday.
Yeah, no, it was phenomenal, and, you know, I've been in the college athletics world as a player coach now for 25 years. I don't think I've ever been a part of or seen a team miss their first 13 shots and go down 16-0 and win the game. And that's a community effort. We needed all that support. Obviously, our guys were able to build some momentum and make some plays, but our defense dug us out, and our fans pushed us over the edge, and that's a great thing to see, and a real momentum builder for us as we move forward.
Yeah, hey, look, you did miss the first 13 shots, but you shot 50% after that if you subtract the 13 shots, so you certainly got it going in that spot. But, I mean, look, that was a situation where a lot of teams could have folded. A lot of teams could have folded for the year, considering the context that you were at. But I don't know, what did you see from your team and just the way they didn't let that affect their defense and stay in that fight early on?
Yeah, I think the thing that we've been, really emphasizing is just finding ways to win. You know, there's a million ways to lose games, but there's a million ways to win games too, and you got to be willing to get your hands dirty and make some of those toughness plays. You also have to have the right attitude and anticipation of when opportunities present themselves and stepping up with confidence and knocking big shots down. And so, I think for us, I'm a big believer that there's no such thing as failure in sports. There's winning and there's learning. And when you go through tough things, if you stay together, you can learn really, really important lessons that can take you to a place that you might not be able to get to without it.
Yeah, well, we definitely saw some learning and some big shots, like you mentioned. There were multiple big shots in this game. Pat McMahon hit a 3 to tie this game late. Bryce Zephir, who we're talking to, hit a couple of big shots in this game. Tyler Patterson hit that go-ahead 3 from the right corner. And Brandon Walker, boy, I want to start with the Brandon Walker bucket, but missed the layup when he was kind of close. He was the only man in between 3 blue jerseys, got the rebound and put it back in. That was a beautiful sight to behold.
It was, and Biwak is a guy that, is so talented and difficult to defend and draws so much attention, and he's just a unique player. But the beauty of that play was it had nothing to do with his talent. It had nothing to do with a position that we put him in. It was just sheer effort and will, and that's what we need.
Yeah, we've seen him getting down on the floor a lot for loose balls. It does seem like he has elevated that blue-collar lunch pail portion of his game.
Yeah, no, he's taken steps in the right direction for sure. He had a good offseason. He's in better shape. And I think over the last 2 games, like you mentioned, he was on the floor 4 different times, first to the floor. Not jumping after somebody else went for it, but first to the floor and getting that those extra possessions for us.
Yeah. All right, let's get to the Tyler Patterson shot as well. He got an assist from Sam Lekalot, that corner 3. It was the same spot and a similar shot that he missed the night before, which could have won the game against Northern Colorado, but just awesome to see a kid like Tyler Patterson hit a big shot late in this game.
Yeah, for sure. It was something that obviously I mentioned to Tyler after the Thursday game, like, you're going to make a big shot like that. It's going to happen. And for it to happen 48 hours later was great. Made me look really smart. Apparently, I just needed to not drop the play and just let it happen organically. So.
Well, that'll certainly work when you got some veterans on the floor like you had down the stretch in that game, which I do want to talk about in just a little bit. But first, we do have to take a timeout, so we'll dive more into the weekend that was, and later we'll talk about the 4-0 women's basketball team as well. But first, a timeout from Montana's Ribbon Chop House. This is Cat Chat, presented by Learfield.
The roar of the crowd, the thunder of thousands of fans stomping their feet as the Bobcats take the field. For Mary, her chronic hip pain kept her from the thrill of her favorite pastime. Thanks to the revolutionary orthopedic care from Bozeman's local orthopedic groups and the Bozeman Health Spine and Joint Institute, Mary was back on her feet and back in the game. If chronic spine and joint pain is keeping you from the activities you love, start your journey by visiting bozemanhealth.org/SJI.
With friendly customer service and an outstanding location near Montana State University and the base of the Bridger Mountain Range, Country Inn & Suites by Radisson is the perfect place to begin your Bozeman adventure. Country Inn & Suites offers a hot and delicious Be Our Guest breakfast buffet each morning. Free Wi-Fi is available throughout the property, and we have a business center and meeting rooms. Our indoor pool and hot tub is a great way to relax after a day of fun, and the on-site fitness center will keep your workout goals on track. We have spacious king and double queen suites with a full-size sleeper sofa available, and every room in Country Inn & Suites is smoke-free. Reserve your room today.
The Ribbon Chop House was founded in 2001. Our ability to grow has come through our commitment to Rocky Mountain hospitality, a concept which incorporates a casual attitude with our high-level commitment to loyalty, safety, service, and quality food. At the Ribbon Chop House, our staff is dedicated to creating extraordinary experiences that raise the bar in each of our communities. Enjoy premium steaks, fresh seafood, and award-winning baby back ribs. We look forward to sharing a little Rocky Mountain hospitality with you.
Northern States Fishing Tools, a proud sponsor of the Montana State Bobcats, has been serving the eastern Montana and western North Dakota oil fields since 1978. We are here to provide you with the best tools and services, all at competitive prices. Northern States Fishing Tools services the Williston Basin with fishing and rental tools, along with downhole tools that include packers, plugs, and through tubing equipment. We have the expert knowledge to give you satisfying results based on your specific needs. Go Bobcats!
You are a Bobcat fan, and your seat matters. Section 108, right in the middle. And a perfect view of the fast break, alley-oop, and slam dunk. At Kendall Ford of Bozeman, we're a proud supporter of Montana State Athletics. We're big fans of teamwork, dedication, and helping customers find the best deal on the perfect vehicle to fit their needs. Where you sit matters, as in the driver's seat. Get started at KendallFordBozeman.com. Kendall, let's start something great.
The Northern Pulse Growers Association encourages industry professionals and growers of dry peas, chickpeas, lentils, and fava beans to become members in 2024. Members gain access to cutting-edge research, expert training, market insights, and connect with a Pulse-passionate community. Visit northernpulse.com to join the Northern Pulse Growers Association. Together, we're sowing the seeds of success.
Universal Athletic has been a proud supporter of Bobcat Athletics for over 45 years. Check out their great selection of Bobcat apparel and accessories for all your game day needs. Shop in-store at their North 7th Avenue location or online at shop.msubobcats.com for everything you need to cheer on your Bobcats. Universal Athletic, a proud supporter of Bobcat Athletics for over 45 years. Go Cats!
Are back live at Montana's Ribbon Chop House for Cat Chat. Keaton Gillogly alongside head coach Matt Logie, talking some men's basketball, coming off a 1-1 week at the Brick this week. The men are on the road, coming up at Idaho State on Thursday. That will be a 6 o'clock tip-off. Then at Weber State on Saturday, a 7 p.m. tip-off. And then the men are home on Monday against Eastern Washington for a 7 p.m. tip-off. Then heading into that game against that other team from that other part of the state. But we'll talk more about that later. We're talking about this weekend that was. And, Coach, a lot of good things to pull from this weekend, even with the 1-point loss against Northern Colorado. But I want to talk a little bit about Sam Leckelot. Boy, Carson Tout, one of the big key frontmen for Northern Arizona, super strong. But seemed like Sam had a great weekend defensively.
Yeah, he did. Sam is a guy that we can count on to make a lot of those toughness plays and those effort plays. And, he really took on the challenge of wanting to defend Tout, without support, which allows our defense to be strong in other areas, and really stepped up to the challenge, especially late in one play in particular. Picked up a Tout on a hard roll to the basket and really stood him up and challenged a shot around the basket and allowed us to maintain our lead down the stretch.
Yeah, fun to see him get some of those moments. And it did seem like there were a few moments where he was trying to be a little bit more of a vocal leader. Saw him kind of revving up the crowd a little bit. I saw him grab everybody, kind of keeping them from celebrating at the end of that game before Jay Mullins went to the line for that 1-1. But it did seem like he was trying to be a little more vocal.
Yeah, no, that's something that he's really stepped up in recent weeks. When you lose somebody who's as passionate of a leader as Robert Ford was last year, there's a natural void there. And I think we've been, trying to do it by committee for much of the year, but we need some guys to step up. And Sam's taken on that challenge here as he heads into the twilight of his career. And that's great to see, because those are the guys that, it matters the most to. They've got the most urgency, and they have a lot of tread behind those tires as well.
Yeah, what's it like from a coaching perspective, just trying to bring that leadership out of a player, knowing that they've got an opportunity to do that? I mean, what are some of the strategies? How do you do that?
Well, I think leadership is one of the things that we pride ourselves in trying to develop. There's a lot of different ways to lead. Obviously, you can lead by example, but the best leaders lead by example, and they lead with their voice and their accountability towards teammates. And so, sometimes you got to get uncomfortable in those positions with your peers, and I think that's when you have a group that really likes each other. Sometimes guys don't want to be as uncomfortable around one another, and sometimes to get where you want to go, you've got to say things that need to be said.
Yeah, well, and that's got to be tough, too, with the amount of roster turnover that anybody's going to have, specifically at this level. But are there things you have to do in the early kind of preseason stuff when you are incorporating these guys to make sure they have a durable chemistry to last through the ups and downs that inevitably come?
Yeah, I think, we do a lot of team building activities. We do a lot of kind of TED Talk type things in the summer and the fall, and even into the season. We've been talking about different philosophies and ideas that can help our mindset and help our relationships grow. And you mentioned it, you hit the nail on the head. When you bring 6 new guys in every year, November, December, you're still building relationships with those guys. You're still learning one another, and it's just different than what it might have been a few years ago.
Yeah. When we did get to see some of the guys who have now been around the program a little bit play, I mean, there were some stretches there where there were 5 guys on the floor who were all in this system a year ago. How much does that really pay dividends for some of these guys who are in the system? And I think about it, too, in the context of, like, if you're a player and you're trying to find your best spot, like, it's not always about just moving up from year to year, but when you can find a place that you feel like is your right fit and then truly grow within that system, I feel like that's when it really gets rewarding from a player's perspective.
Yeah, no question. I mean, I think we've worked really hard to bring players into the program in the last 18 months that fit the style of play that we're looking for, but there's still an adjustment. All these guys are coming in with old habits and previous coaching philosophies, and so when your back's against the wall, and you have guys like Sam Leckelot and Tyler Patterson and Jed Miller and Brian Garacki, and guys that have been through the fire, so to speak, as Bobcats, that's really valuable and something that we definitely leaned on last weekend.
Yeah. Finally, before we talk to Bryce Zephir about Bryce, what a game it was on Saturday against Northern Arizona. Yeah, absolutely. Was that the guy you saw on tape when you were recruiting him?
For sure. Bryce is someone that, we missed the first 3 games of conference play, undoubtedly. He's one of our best perimeter defenders. He can stand up a drive and hold his ground, but he's a very, very good playmaker. He's a willing passer, and I think one of the things that you saw on Saturday, which we want to continue, is just the way he touches the paint and can finish at the end of drives as well. And so, he's just scratching the surface. Obviously, there's always a integration period when you come into a new program, and from the junior college level to this, it's not uncommon to see those guys play their best basketball, towards the end of their first year, and then, more so, really see the player that they are in year 2. And so, the challenge to Bryce now is to not make us wait till year 2.
Well, we won't be waiting too long. Next game is on Thursday as we take a quick look ahead, thanks to Vance Thompson Vision. Idaho State on Thursday. They are a much different-looking team. Dylan Darling, one of the guard transfers from Washington State. Jake O'Neal, an NAIA guy, another one of their guards. What are you seeing from Idaho State? Quick scouting report on what we're going to see from them on Thursday.
Yeah, I think as much as things are a little different, they're still very much the same with Idaho State. They are one of the top 5 rebounding teams in the country, not the conference, in the country. It's something that they take a lot of pride in, and so we have to be very, very physically minded and tough, and clear off the glass. And offensively, Darling has brought a little bit more of a dynamic scoring punch to the backcourt. And Jake O'Neal is just a really well-rounded, tough physical forward that can post up and rebound. He actually had 10 offensive rebounds in one game, which I've never heard of. So
that was on Saturday.
Yeah, they are a very, very physical, tough-minded team, and it's kind of like going to the dentist. You might not like to sit in that dentist chair, but when you come out of it, your teeth are going to look better. But you got to sit down there and you got to pay your dues. Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll pack the Windex so we make sure all of the glass is clean when we head down to Pocatello, Coach. Appreciate the time and the insight.
Thanks a lot. Go Cats.
All right. That's head coach Matt Logie. And on the other side of this timeout, we're talking with point guard Bryce Zephir. We're taking a break from Montana's Ribbon Chop House. This is Cat Chat, presented by Learfield.
Town & Country Foods is a proud supporter of Bobcat Athletics. As a locally owned company, we believe the benefit of buying local helps support the local economies in southwest Montana. Our stores offer great selections of items you need every day, including organics, specialty foods, fresh meats and produce, along with incredible selections from our bakery and deli departments. Town & Country Foods is 100% employee-owned and serves southwest Montana with 8 locations. Visit your local Town & Country Foods today. Go Cats!
If you're in need of structural engineering for your residential, commercial, or wireless telecommunications project, Ascent Engineering provides comprehensive solutions for your project's success. Ascent Engineering is now serving the Big Sky Country in southwestern Montana. Whether it's a new residential home, new commercial building, long-awaited remodel, covered outdoor living space, retaining wall, or telecommunications tower, Ascent Engineering is your expert at providing forensics, assessments, or designs. Ascent Engineering is a proud supporter of your Montana State Bobcats.
Ready to build your brand? Think Inc. outside the box for your complete branding solutions. Located in Bozeman, Montana, we offer a full print shop for banners, signs, wraps, trade show booths and graphics, promotional products, and much more. If you can think it, we can ink it. We are a proud supporter and corporate sponsor of the MSU Bobcats. Like us on Facebook to see some of our cat wraps. Ready to build your brand? Think Inc. and call us at 406-922-6462 or visit us on the web at inkoutside.com.
The Bobcats are proud to present these preferred local partners as members of Bobcat Built. Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems. Bryant, whatever it takes. Carrier Heating and Air Conditioning. Carrier, turn to the experts. Ace Roofing, building Montana strong, one roof at a time. Rivers Landscaping, crafting superior outdoor spaces. And NW Construction, proud to call Bozeman home. Montana State Athletics encourages our fans to choose these local businesses. They are proud local sponsors and demonstrate what it means to be a Bobcat. We are Bobcat Built.
It's the season of home improvement, and Williams Plumbing will help you tackle the big stuff. Are old roots clogging your sewer line? Williams has the tools to fix it. Have you checked your septic system lately? We have the knowledge and experience to maintain or repair it. Looking to install a yard hydrant? We'll do it promptly and professionally. Don't sweat the big stuff. Call Williams Plumbing today.
At Montana State University, students shape signature experiences that take them across the state and into local communities. MSU is dedicated to its land-grant mission, integrating transformational learning, discovery, and service that improves lives. You'll find our students teaching across Montana, conducting research in the heart of Yellowstone National Park, or even creating small shelter prototypes to address homelessness. Montana State University. Think outside.
We are back live at Montana's Ribbon Shop House. This is our second Cat Chat of the year, and we are here every Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. For 38 years, Executive Services has been the painting and mailing experts in the Gallatin Valley, a local family-owned business supporting Bobcat athletics. Printing, mailing done right. Find them online at print and mail. Find them online, and you can print and mail. And excuse me, one more time. Online at printmailrelax.com. There we go. That's printmailrelax.com. All right, I'm Keaton Gillogly, joined now by one of the new faces and newest members of Bobcat men's basketball, Bryce Zephir. Bryce, how we doing?
Doing great. Thank you for having me.
Well, yeah, appreciate having you up here, and beautiful round of applause. And boy, that was some crowd on Saturday night, wasn't it?
It's great. They really helped us through that game.
Yeah. I mean, what is it like on the bench? Give us that kind of first-person perspective when, look, it obviously was off on the wrong foot to start, but hearing how much that crowd was behind you.
Hearing how much they were behind us, it really helped us out, gave us some energy to really push through the hard first couple of minutes we got, but obviously it worked out for us.
Yeah, no doubt. You were a big part of it working out down the stretch. Now, you've been a little banged up this year, right, kind of in and out, but how you feeling right now?
Feeling 100%.
Yeah,
great.
Good. So that was kind of part of the reason, too, to hold you out of those first Big Sky games, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so you're feeling 100%. So, I mean, for a lot of people, they didn't get to see some of your better games on the road. I mean, you played great at the end of that Denver game, and there's been some other really good stretches. But that game on Saturday, is that what fans can expect out of you?
Yes, sir. Go out there, do whatever it takes to win.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, what is your style? Give us a little more insight into what you want to be on the floor when you're playing your best.
I just want to be whatever my team needs me, whether it's to go out there play defense, whether it's to go out there rebound, get guys involved, score, whatever it is, I want to do it.
Yeah, true point guard.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this is a point guard show. We got Dylan Phillip later, so this is a full point guard show. Who are some of your favorite point guards? Like, how do you model your game?
My favorite point guard is controversial, but it's James Harden. He's a point guard to me.
Yeah.
I love watching him.
What part of his game do you like the most?
How he creates and how he's able to score it, but keep his teammates involved at the same time.
Yeah.
He does a really good job of mixing it up.
Yeah. What are some of the things you're like looking for when you're trying to decide, okay, it's my turn to get going versus I know somebody else needs to get going?
If someone has a hot hand, I know get him the ball. And if our team's like in a lull where we need a really good bucket or get in the paint, get an easy shot, that's when it's time to call your own number.
There it is. And we got to see you do that a couple of times down the stretch in this game against Northern Arizona. But I do want to kind of get into your background a little bit. So first of all, so you've had a couple of different stops, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So where'd you go first out of high school?
I went to Grand River Academy, pro grad school out in Ohio, Ashtabula.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So that was one of those like prep schools that's not quite college, doesn't burn your eligibility, but post-high school, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. We've heard a couple other guys who have gotten into that. What was that like out in Ohio?
I was in the middle of nowhere, so it was just nothing but school and basketball. But that's great for me.
Yeah. How'd you like Ohio? Have you been over there much?
No. It was definitely a change of pace being from L.A., but I liked it. It was cool.
Yeah. All right. It can get a little foresty over in Ohio, too.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. So you get there, you get a little seasoning. Where'd you go to after that?
Then I went to Chipola College out in Marianna, Florida.
Okay.
Yep.
So you go to Ohio, then down to Florida.
Yep.
How was that JUCO experience for you?
That was great. It was had a really good team. We won a lot of games. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah. Okay. So won a lot of games, got it going there, and then you got your first Division I opportunity, right?
Yes, sir.
Where'd you go to then?
University of North Texas.
All right.
Yep.
And so Brandon Walker was in that same conference, right?
No, but we did end up playing against each other.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. What did he look like then? That would have been what, his freshman year?
Yeah. Crazy as he looked the same. Really? As a freshman.
Yeah, 18-year-olds, 19-year-olds aren't necessarily supposed to look like that.
No, not at all.
No. So what are you seeing out of him now, just in terms of what he's able to do?
I see a guy who's really expanded his game. He wasn't much of a shooter back then, but as you guys can see, he knocks down shots. He was just more of like a supportive role. But now in this big role, you see like how great he is.
Yeah. I mean, he doesn't play a ton of minutes. So it was 20 minutes, 17 points on
Exactly.
Saturday. When he's on there, he is the guy and he is the show. But all right, so you end up at North Texas. Now you only played. You were there for 2 years.
Yep.
But did you only play one?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that was a red shirt then.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So what was that like? Sitting? Was it an injury or what was that situation for you?
I just wasn't going to play much, so I didn't want to burn a year. But it was great learning from that team. They ended up winning the NIT. I got a lot of players that moved on to professional levels, NBA, so it was cool learning from those guys.
Yeah, so you still talk to a lot of those guys playing pro?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, what do they say about what it's like to be a pro and what it takes?
They say it's basketball all day. So
Sounds terrible.
It sounds like the life.
Yeah. You kind of have that at least a little bit during winter break.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so you're at North Texas. You have the 2 years. Choose to redshirt to save that year. So now we're 4 years out of high school at that point.
Yep.
And you decided to transfer.
Yep.
So what were you looking for when you were leaving North Texas?
I was hoping to go to a different Division I program, but that didn't end up happening, and I went junior college, and it turned out great.
Yeah.
Yep.
What was the junior college?
Salt Lake Community College.
Okay. How did they come calling?
They actually came to my house. Which,
Okay.
Yeah, it was different, but it was great.
Yeah. What was the advantages over there? What's that program like? I mean, give us an insight to the JUCO life over there.
They describe it as like the Kentucky of JUCOs. So, yeah, pretty much they get a bunch of Division I transfers and go beat up on other guys. Really.
And that's how it worked out for you that year?
Yep.
Okay, that's good. So you're playing with a lot of quality guys, a lot of quality talent, and that sort of thing.
Yes, sir.
What do people maybe not know about the JUCO life, the community college life? I feel like it's a particular brand and a particular style of guy that comes out of that.
It's definitely different from what people think. I think there's a lot of great players in junior college ranks. Some guys just maybe didn't have the opportunities that other guys got.
Yeah.
But the level of competition, it's definitely good. Like, it's a lot of good players out there.
Yeah. Okay, so you got there and back into the transfer portal again and continuing to move around. So what were some of your, priorities? What were you looking for coming out of Salt Lake? Because at that point, I mean, you're a grown man. You've been out of high school a little bit. So what were some of your priorities looking from Salt Lake?
I wanted to be in a place where I felt comfortable off the court, where it felt like a family environment. I could call coaches, and if I needed something, they'll help me out. And I got those vibes here.
Yeah. Was that similar to what you were looking for out of high school, or did your priority kind of change?
My priorities definitely changed as I matured.
Yeah.
Yep.
What were the things you were looking for when you were a young kid coming out of high school?
When you're a young kid, you want to be. I want to start. I want gear, all that type of stuff.
Yeah. Well, okay. Which are you guys Under Armour or Nike kind of things? Yeah. Funny how much those threads really don't matter as you get going.
Not at all.
No. So how did this coaching staff? How do these players? How do they make you feel comfortable? Is there a situation or when you came to visit or how that worked? Was there a moment you're like, okay, this is the type of comfortability that I'm looking for?
It was actually on my visit here, our first dinner, actually. Chica and Brandon and Coach came out the coaching staff to Revelry, and it just felt like I was a part of the team already. Like, I was laughing with the guys, laughing with the coaches. It just felt like I was already a Bobcat.
Yeah.
Yep.
What part of the year was that?
March.
Okay.
Yep.
So they were it was after the NCAA tournament or a little before still?
A little before. I think it was before the Weber game.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. So they were still kind of getting their own there. You do that, and then when did you actually commit?
In sometime late March, I say.
Okay.
Yeah, late March. Yeah.
All right. So then you make the choice to come here. How much maybe tape of Montana State did you watch? Did you watch any of the games from last year? Is that something you do when you get to a new place?
I think I watched about 10 games.
Okay.
Yeah. I want to learn more about the playing style and how coaches coach and everything like that.
Yeah. What stood out when you went back to watch the tape?
How free-flowing we play. There's a lot of it's not a lot of sets. It's a lot of reads you have to make, and the coaches are teaching us basketball, how to play basketball rather than plays.
Oh, yeah, that's cool. All right, but that sounds more complicated than maybe just go here, then there. Is it more complicated?
It's a little more complicated. There's a little more nuance to it. You got to know what to do, what not to do, what certain defenses look like, but it works.
Yeah, It certainly works. It is really fun when it is working. I think some people maybe saw a little bit of a flash in what we saw from you on Saturday in terms of just the ability at point guard, and everybody loved what Rob Ford did so much last year and maybe saw a little bit of that in your game on Saturday. What did you see from Rob? And I mean, obviously you didn't get to play with him, but what did you see from his game, and maybe are there any similarities there?
Rob is a dog.
Yes, sir. Yes, he is.
Yeah, getting 100 steals in the season is not easy. That's very difficult. And obviously he's a guy who could do it on the offensive floor. So I think we have similarities in that that way, two-way players.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So a two-way player like Rob.
Yep.
And you're going to bring a little of that dog mentality?
Yes, sir.
I know we're cats, but we got to have some dog in us.
Exactly.
Yeah. Idaho State coming up next. Anything we should look for in this matchup coming up on Thursday against the Bengals?
Us coming out with the same energy and that same fight and just play with a ton of confidence.
All right. Should have some confidence after this weekend.
Yes, sir.
All right. No doubt. That's Bryce Zephir. Appreciate the time and the insight, and looking forward to more hoops this year.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
All right. We're taking a break, and we're talking some women's basketball after this timeout from Montana's Ribbon Chop House. This is Cat Chat, presented by Learfield.
The roar of the crowd, the thunder of thousands of fans stomping their feet as the Bobcats take the field. For Mary, her chronic hip pain kept her from the thrill of her favorite pastime. Thanks to the revolutionary orthopedic care from Bozeman's local orthopedic groups and the Bozeman Health Spine and Joint Institute, Mary was back on her feet and back in the game. If chronic spine and joint pain is keeping you from the activities you love, start your journey by visiting bozemanhealth.org/SJI.
Northern States Fishing Tools, a proud sponsor of the Montana State Bobcats, has been serving the eastern Montana and western North Dakota oil fields since 1978. We are here to provide you with the best tools and services, all at competitive prices. Northern States Fishing Tools services the Williston Basin with fishing and rental tools, along with downhole tools that include packers, plugs, and through tubing equipment. We have the expert knowledge to give you satisfying results based on your specific needs. Go Bobcats!
You are a Bobcat fan, and your seat matters. Section 108, right in the middle. And a perfect view of the fast break, alley-oop, and slam dunk. At Kendall Ford of Bozeman, we're a proud supporter of Montana State Athletics. We're big fans of teamwork, dedication, and helping customers find the best deal on the perfect vehicle to fit their needs. Where you sit matters, as in the driver's seat. Get started at KendallFordBozeman.com. Kendall, let's start something great.
With friendly customer service and an outstanding location near Montana State University and the base of the Bridger Mountain Range, Country Inn & Suites by Radisson is the perfect place to begin your Bozeman adventure. Country Inn & Suites offers a hot and delicious Be Our Guest breakfast buffet each morning. Free Wi-Fi is available throughout the property, and we have a business center and meeting rooms. Our indoor pool and hot tub is a great way to relax after a day of fun, and the on-site fitness center will keep your workout goals on track. We have spacious king and double queen suites with a full-size sleeper sofa available, and every room in Country Inn & Suites is smoke-free. Reserve your room today.
The Ribbon Chop House was founded in 2001. Our ability to grow has come through our commitment to Rocky Mountain hospitality, a concept which incorporates a casual attitude with our high-level commitment to loyalty, safety, service, and quality food. At the Ribbon Chop House, our staff is dedicated to creating extraordinary experiences that raise the bar in each of our communities. Enjoy premium steaks, fresh seafood, and award-winning baby back ribs. We look forward to sharing a little Rocky Mountain hospitality with you.
No matter how far you may go, there's always one just down the road. Town Pump, who pump it up, pump it up.
Town of Pump is excited to once again sponsor the Brawl of the Wild Rivalry Series between Montana State and the University of Montana. Look for special Brawl of the Wild promotions throughout the year at your local Town Pump.
Town Pump, right down the road, pump it up, oh yeah.
We are back at Montana's Ribbon Chop House, and before we talk to Dylan Phillip and get into some women's basketball, let's pause 10 seconds for our network station identification. This is Cat Chat.
AM 1450, KMMS, and K236CY Bozeman, 1340 KPRK Livingston, where Montana talks.
We are back live at Montana's Ribbon Chop House for Cat Chat. At Montana's Ribbon Chop House, our staff is dedicated to creating extraordinary experiences that raise the bar in each of our communities. Enjoy premium steaks, fresh seafood, award-winning baby back ribs. We look forward to sharing a little Rocky Mountain hospitality with you. All right, we just wrapped up talking about some men's basketball. Again, they're at Idaho State on Thursday at 6 o'clock, Weber State at 7 o'clock on Saturday, home on Monday. But now we turn our attention to the first place Montana State women's basketball team. Yes, 4-0. coming off a sweep through northern Colorado and northern Arizona. And we are joined now by Dylan Phillip. Dylan, how we doing?
We're good.
Yeah, it should be. 4-0's no joke, huh?
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, fun weekend, great situation. But first, we should shout out Esmeralda Morales, the Big Sky Player of the Week this week. Yes, the second time this year. Hung a fat 30 spot against NAU. Boy, she played great. What's it like watching her go to work every day?
It's just so fun to have like a leader on our team like her. Such a role model for all of us, I think.
Yeah. Well, and she's somebody who transferred over from Portland State. Now, you've been here. This is your third year in the program, correct?
Yep.
Okay. What's it like to see somebody come in and try to establish themselves as a newcomer, but also a leader on the team?
Well, I think it's way better having her here because it was a pain to guard her. But she has stepped into those shoes that we needed her to fill. She's been a great leader for us so far, and she just keeps raising the bar each day.
Yeah. What are some of the skills, some of the buckets? Like, was there a bucket from Saturday maybe that stood out where you're just like, man, I wish I could do that, or wow, there's not many people around that can do something like that.
Yeah, I think every single time she goes up for those reverse layups, I'm like, yep, it's going in. I don't even have to look. Yeah. I know it's going in, but again, I just want to be her sometimes, but it's good to have her with us.
Yeah, it's fun watching her go to work. It's fun to watch the way this offense is clicking right now. And I mean, you were here last year, but you were hurt, so you didn't get to play. It had to be kind of frustrating, too, where it's like you want to get out there and help the team so much. What was it like just being on the sideline and not being able to help last year?
Yeah, it's definitely like a different perspective. It's pretty tough, but it also has taught me a lot about basketball and not taking everything for granted and being super grateful to be out on that court. But again, it taught me so much from just the different aspect of watching it rather than being on the court.
Yeah. Was there anything specific maybe just in terms of style or something on the floor that you normally couldn't see? Anything in particular that stands out?
I think probably the pace, just being able to slow yourself down on the court. But when you're on the court, it's hard to see that right away. So just being able to watch that really taught me that there's value in slowing things down.
Yeah, so you felt early on you were kind of a little too fast?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sure.
How did that translate from high school? Were you playing, do you look back and you're like, oh, wow, I played really fast in high school?
Yes, I think speed really helped me, take advantage of that. It made me good in high school.
Right.
And being able to slow down and use it to my advantage, stop and go, and that sort of thing really elevated my game this year.
Yeah, that sounds like it's a really good example of how a really great high school player can have that one great skill, and you can just put the foot down on the gas pedal. But once you get to college, everybody was a great high school player. So it is kind of developing what your best skill is. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So how do you go about doing that other than just watching the way you were?
We're big on 2 feet, so I think that's a big motto as our team is just playing off 2, making good decisions off 2, being able to slow yourself down, that sort of thing.
Yeah, so that's a good point. So that maybe isn't something that a casual basketball player totally understands, playing off 2 feet. Can you give us an example of the playing off 1 foot versus playing off 2 feet?
Yeah, playing off 1 foot, I think we get a lot of shots blocked.
Yeah.
Playing off 2 feet, we can mambo, we draw those fouls, we are seeing extra passes that we usually wouldn't see. And yeah.
Yeah. So it's kind of when you stop and you can get to the 2 feet in your balance rather than just the fast part you're talking about, where you're just off balance, 1 foot, kind of flinging it up.
Yeah.
All right. So that's something we can look for because I hear a lot of people talk about that, and sometimes it doesn't get always explained.
Yes, for sure.
Cool. All right. You play off some 2 feet, starting and stopping, incorporating Morales, getting everybody kind of going. And, it's interesting, too, for somebody like a Natalie Picton, who we talked to on the show last year. She played a lot of minutes, now a little bit more of a role player. But she had some big minutes, big stretches this week. What's it like watching her kind of get into her new role throughout the year?
We can always just count on her to be the scrappiest defender out there. And so I love that she can make big moves in those little minutes where she just – gets steal after steal, layup, and just her speed really helps us too. So
yeah, is she faster than you?
Well, yeah, probably.
Probably. I don't know. Yeah. You're kind of giving it up to her. It's funny. Sometimes you ask people that, and they're like, "No, it's definitely me," and other people are like,
she's probably faster.
Okay,
than
is she
me.
the fastest on the team?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Her
and Taylor are up there pretty high. Yeah.
Yes, Taylor.
Taylor's pretty quick.
Yeah. And Taylor's been a lot of fun to watch, too.
Yes.
I mean, that's impressive for a freshman to come in and to play the way she's doing. What are you seeing from her?
I think she just brings something to the table that not a lot of us have on this team, and it's super like unpredictable for other teams, and it just elevates our game even more.
Yeah, and she seems to have some good length too out of the floor.
Yes.
Yeah, that can really affect some opposing teams.
Oh yeah. I think just all of the things that she brings just really helps us get those dubs.
Yeah, well, and it's cool to see that balance of the freshmen and the seniors on this team as well. Obviously, Caitlin Martin, who we talked to last week, Lexi Deaton getting back into the rhythm of it all. But it's got to be a lot of fun to kind of have that mix. I mean, there's so much depth this year. There's so many more people.
Yeah, that is definitely like the biggest advantage we have. We have legs all day, so.
Yeah. Does that help on the defensive side?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You feel like you can actually, you don't feel like you're conserving energy when you have this kind of depth?
Yeah, I feel like every time each of us go in, we can just give it our all, and we know that we're going to have someone that comes in and just brings the same amount of energy.
Yeah. Well, that's cool to see, and I'm sure a lot of fans are able to see that as well going through everything we've seen so far. All right. I want to talk a little bit about your high school career and just how you kind of got here. So, first of all, where are you from?
I'm from Ellensburg, Washington.
Okay.
Yeah, super small town, just right in central Washington. So.
Yeah, that's off Interstate 90 still, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
So at least you can kind of get to it.
Yes, for sure.
Now, is it pretty? Is it more deserty, or do you still have some mountain vibe?
We still have some mountain vibe. We're just on the other side of the mountains before you go over the pass to Seattle. So it's still a little green, but very ag place. Yeah.
Okay. Can you see Mount Rainier from where you guys are at?
I honestly don't know. I don't pay that much attention, but
no, that's fine. But that's cool. So you were there, and you had a great high school career, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell me about your senior year.
My senior year was the best year of high school basketball we've ever had, and it was super fun because I got to play with my sister, who, is coming. And we got the first state championship for the women's basketball team at Ellensburg. So It was super cool. We were also undefeated, so that was a big milestone for us. But, yeah.
That's awesome. That's a lot of fun. What did it mean to the school? What was the support like? And just to be the first ones, what did it mean?
It was awesome. Our community showed up for every game. We actually ended up having more fans than the men's team by the end of the season, so that was pretty cool.
Not that we're bragging, but
it
is nice.
That never happens there. But, it was super cool. Best thing ever, honestly.
Yeah, where did you guys win it? Was it at a neutral site, or was it?
Yeah, it was a neutral site at the Yakima Sun Dome.
Okay. How big is that, the arena there?
It's way bigger than we had ever played in. That's all I know.
Yeah, is that a little bit weird when you do get into, those bigger arenas? Does that affect, the way you shoot?
Yeah, it's a lot similar to, the gym here, the brick, because there's, not a backdrop, and that's so different from high school. I feel like the backdrop, you're so used to it that threes go in all the time, and then you go somewhere else, and it's I'm airballing. But that didn't happen, so.
Yeah, and you got both teams were playing on the same floor.
Yeah, exactly.
But give me a little more insight into that year, to go undefeated, to actually accomplish that goal. We all know how hard that is. Why? Why do you think that team was able to get it done? What were some of the X factors that you guys had to accomplish a championship and an undefeated championship?
Yeah, we actually faced a lot of adversity that year. My coach had brain cancer, and so throughout that entire season, we're doing this next game for him, that sort of thing, and just our team was so tight with a year. All the seniors were the older sisters, and the entire freshman class was the younger sisters. So we had all had that chemistry for a couple years, and we just played for him each day. So yeah.
I feel like the older sister, younger sister could have easily gone off the tracks.
Yes, for sure. We did have instances where me and my sister would come home and just not speak, but it was good for us in the end, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's fun to make it such a family affair, and you guys got it done. So very cool stuff. And now you're bringing some of that championship pedigree here.
Yep.
All right. Thursday, Idaho State back at the Brick. Excited to get here. Give us a couple of keys, some things we're looking for in this matchup against Idaho State on Thursday.
I think just bringing our defensive energy to each game, it really fuels our offensive end. So if we can just keep getting those stops and speed the other teams up, it'll be good for us.
Yeah, always fun when you know you got 9 people behind you and a free clear path to the bucket.
Yes, exactly.
All right. Well, we're looking for some more of that on Thursday, 7 p.m. The women are hosting Idaho State back at the Brick. All right, Dylan, Philip. Thank you so much for the time.
Yes, thank you.
All right, Dylan, Phillip, we're taking a break. Coach Binford's joining us after this timeout from Montana's Ribbon Chop House. This is Cat Chat, presented by Learfield.
Ready to build your brand? Think ink outside the box for your complete branding solutions. Located in Bozeman, Montana, we offer a full print shop for banners, signs, wraps, trade show booths and graphics, promotional products, and much more. If you can think it, we can ink it. We are a proud supporter and corporate sponsor of the MSU Bobcats. Like us on Facebook to see some of our cat wraps. Ready to build your brand? Think ink and call us at 406-922-6462 or visit us on the web at inkoutside.com.
It's the season of home improvement, and Williams Plumbing will help you tackle the big stuff. Are old roots clogging your sewer line? Williams has the tools to fix it. Have you checked your septic system lately? We have the knowledge and experience to maintain or repair it. Looking to install a yard hydrant? We'll do it promptly and professionally. Don't sweat the big stuff. Call Williams Plumbing today.
Town & Country Foods is a proud supporter of Bobcat Athletics. As a locally owned company, we believe the benefit of buying local helps support the local economies in southwest Montana. Our stores offer great selections of items you need every day, including organics, specialty foods, fresh meats and produce, along with incredible selections from our bakery and deli departments. Town & Country Foods is 100% employee-owned and serves southwest Montana with 8 locations. Visit your local Town & Country Foods today. Go Cats!
At Montana State University, students shape signature experiences that take them across the state and into local communities. MSU is dedicated to its land grant mission, integrating transformational learning, discovery, and service that improves lives. You'll find our students teaching across Montana, conducting research in the heart of Yellowstone National Park, or even creating small shelter prototypes to address homelessness. Montana State University. Think outside.
If you're in need of structural engineering for your residential, commercial, or wireless telecommunications project, Ascent Engineering provides comprehensive solutions for your project's success. Ascent Engineering is now serving the Big Sky Country in southwestern Montana. Whether it's a new residential home, new commercial building, long-awaited remodel, covered outdoor living space, retaining wall, or telecommunications tower, Ascent Engineering is your expert at providing forensics, assessments, or designs. Ascent Engineering is a proud supporter of your Montana State Bobcats.
The Bobcats are proud to present these preferred local partners as members of Bobcat Built, Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems, Bryant, whatever it takes, Carrier Heating and Air Conditioning, Carrier, turn to the experts, Ace Roofing, building Montana strong, one roof at a time, Rivers Landscaping, crafting superior outdoor spaces, and NW Construction, proud to call Bozeman home. Montana State Athletics encourages our fans to choose these local businesses. They are proud local sponsors and demonstrate what it means to be a Bobcat. We are Bobcat Built.
Back one final time at Montana's Ribbon Chop House. This is Cat Chat. We remind you that at Montana's Ribbon Chop House, we've been serving Rocky Mountain communities for over 20 years. Our ability to grow has come through our commitment to Rocky Mountain hospitality, a concept which incorporates a casual attitude with our commitment to loyalty, safety, service, and quality food. We hope you'll be our guest at one of our Montana locations soon. All right, we're talking some women's basketball. The women are home this weekend. They've got the 7 o'clock tip-off on Thursday against Idaho State, Saturday at 2 p.m., and then they are on the road on Monday at Eastern Washington at 7 o'clock. And we are joined now by head coach Tricia Binford. Coach, how we doing?
We're doing great.
Yeah.
Keaton. Oh, can we do a pause and celebrate our Montana Sportscaster of the Year, by the way?
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank
and no-brainer, well-deserved. Super excited. We have the best in the state, and, excited to be here.
Much appreciated. It's certainly a team effort. And you got a great team effort going right now as well on the floor, sitting at 4-0 in Big Sky play. We mentioned it with Dylan, but Big Sky Player of the Week for Esme Morales. Very cool to see her get honored for that this week.
Well, I think it was pretty clear after that performance, but even the Thursday game, she just the things she does with the ball and bringing to the table, and just her savviness. It was really exciting to witness it.
Yeah, I'll ask you the same thing I asked Dylan. Is there a particular play or style or shot that you watch and you're just like, man, I wish I could do that?
Well, we're doing some stagger ball screens, and I think we ran at multiple possessions because every time they took something away, she found a different way to convert off of it. And so to me, that was kind of, the reverse layup, she hit a couple of those that Dylan talked about, but she hit the three behind the screen. Then they cheated the screen, so then she reacted and back cut on the screen, got the jumper. Then she hit KJ for the skip. I'm like, she just makes great reads, and she just makes the right play. So there's games that she has to score and put more points on the board, and there's other games that she's kind of creating opportunities for her peers and her teammates, and I think that's what makes her truly special. I'm like, I've never seen a team more confident, because she brings out the confidence of her teammates.
Yeah, it's really cool to hear something like that, where she's scouting and making those scouting changes like in the moment. To be able to see that, you don't even have to coach that. Like, that's something she has already. That's really impressive, to be able to just have that, like, that quiver of arrows and moves that she could just use, read, react, and go score.
Yeah, she has a next level feel for the game, so to speak. Her IQ, the things that she does see, she'll come over to a timeout. She's like, what do you think of this play? UNC, as we were hitting the second half, she came over and talked about some thoughts that she was looking at, and we give her a lot of freedom. She's got the freedom to make play calls on the floor. We put the ball in her hands for the last 10 seconds of those shot clocks, but you can't see it the same when you're on the floor like you do from the sidelines. So we want to definitely take advantage of that. She's a quarterback out there, so we're definitely reaping the benefits of that right now.
Yeah, we're seeing you win in a little bit different ways each of these games this week. So it was a 68-57 win against Northern Colorado, 87-81 at Northern Arizona, and it was the second game of that weekend. Everybody was paying attention. I tell you, when I got to the brick later that day, everybody was talking about that game as we were getting ready for our ball game. But to come back from 11 down in that first quarter and hang a 30 spot in that second quarter, that was something special to watch.
Well, yeah, we thought the game plan was to get stops with defense, but I didn't know it was to outscore NAU. So, we certainly had a big second quarter, but that second quarter was also really sparked by tremendous defense. And I know you talked about Taylor and Natalie and Addison and Dylan. I think you need to give yourself a little bit more credit on your foot speed too, but really our defense kind of really capitalized on some steals that we got. We got some things going, got the pace going, got some rim runs going, but that just kind of allowed us to explode, and from there on, I felt like we were in great rhythm on both ends of the floor.
Yeah, and you mentioned, you kind of talked about it last week too, just trying to convert that defense into points. 24 points off turnovers in this game, and it's just 22 fast break points. You had to really enjoy those kind of numbers and that kind of style.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's something that we've really taken the identity from the preseason. Preseason, we were really successful in that area. We've spent a lot of time on our advantage situations, and just kind of coming off of Christmas break, we were a little bit rusty converting on some of the stops we were getting on our home openers, and so it was nice to see that start to come back, because I feel like we're still scratching the surface and not converting on everything that we could, but now we're getting greedy. So I think it's a good place for us to be as far as continuing to challenge ourselves and what our next step is, and there's still a lot of work to be had.
Team greed in basketball, that's a good thing.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Well, I want to get into Natalie Picton's role a little bit too, since we did talk about that with Dylan some, but I mean, she was the true freshman thrown into the fire last year, now kind of more in a role situation. Just what are you seeing, how she's evolving and what she's able to do now that she doesn't have to carry such a huge load like she did last year?
Well, first thing I'll say is when we saw Esme going in the portal and we talked to the team about bringing her in after getting on the phone and talking with her, Natalie was one of the first people in the office saying she wanted to be heavily involved on that visit. I'm like, to me, that was a mature thing to say and come in and want to be a part of that, just knowing that, gosh, I have an opportunity to learn from the greatest point guard in this conference right now and get her on our side of things. So I thought that was huge in itself. And then with Dylan's return, and you bring somebody in like Dylan and Taylor and having the conversations with Natalie, like, this is going to impact you the most on this team and how we make this work. She has really found herself to be a natural spark off the bench, and really that group has made kind of a mentality of moving the needle, right? When we come in, we need to increase our lead or decrease the deficit, and that's been a huge impact for our success.
Yeah, it's cool to watch, and she had a couple of big plays down the stretch in both of these games, and that part is really cool. For Dylan Phillip, 15 points in this game against Northern Arizona, 4 of 6 from the field. The scoring there's been some bigger games. They had the South Dakota game and this game, but had to be nice to see her kind of go after a shot and put up some double-digit numbers in this game.
You're talking this one, right?
Oh, yeah.
This young lady, she's got so many Maddie Jackson characteristics, and I know they're two different people, but when you talk about selfless kids and whatever we need kids, Dylan Phillip is that kid. And when she was a freshman, right before her injury, she was playing so well. She was going to start for us at the 1 last year, and really we just had to help her a little bit with confidence because what she brings to the table is really special. And so just to have this year of her confidence growing as she's stepped on the floor, there's just every time you watch film and you show it to the team and you go to the next thing, Dylan's constantly that kid that's just making the right plays, the right read, playing off 2 feet. She doesn't have a middle nickname. I was over there talking with Daniel. I'm like, we've never given her a middle nickname. We always give players middle nicknames. He's like, it's because when we tell her to do something, she does it. The other ones need the middle nickname to be reminded what to do. I'm so excited for her to have this kind of success because she has constantly had her whole career celebrating her teammates and absolutely deserving and just an incredible teammate for everybody else. And she just loves this game. She always has a smile even when she's taking a charge on somebody. So she's just a pleasure to coach, and she's the kind of kid that you want to show up for every day.
Yeah, well, and coaching too, kind of, seeing the speed she had in high school and now learning how to utilize that. What is that like for you as a coach when you see a kid in high school and you're like, okay, that's a D1 skill, but it's going to need some refining? I mean, what's it like looking at that?
Well, it's a lot easier to recruit a racehorse, right, and just pull back the reins a little bit than try to get a nudge of I don't have a good analogy for opposite of a racehorse. But, Dylan, she was great at back cut. She was great in transition. Her defense was solid. She was a great passer. She was just good at everything. She was one of those solid players for a very high-level club program, and we saw her extremely early. I had seen her, and then Sonny had seen her, and then you go back and you kind of open up your evals and your books, and we start talking like, I really like this kid. She's like, I really like that kid. And all of a sudden we get her on a visit, and then she's a Bobcat. And that's kind of how that relationship started with just a kid that plays the game the way it should be played. She's just a really smart player that doesn't force things, but at the same time she's attack-minded. And we love speed, as you know. We love kids that love defense, as you know, and this is a kid that plays hard on both ends, and she's going to be selfless, and she's going to be a great passer. But now we got her looking for her shot as well. So big-time shots on Saturday she made for us.
Yeah. And kind of seeing a player evolve like that, and we kind of talked about this with Coach Logie, how, sometimes it does take a year or two for a player in a system to really fully find themselves. For you, you've had players now who are in the system right now. It's got to be really fun to be able to watch these kids grow up in the system, but also really find themselves over time because they're here and they pick the right spot off the bat.
Well, absolutely. And when they start getting into year 2 or 3, and I know we're year 3, that she didn't get to have a lot of the season last year, but she had the preseason, she had the summers. And, when they get to the place where they're playing and not thinking the game, because now the learning has been had, and she knows how to, we call it back tap, where, if somebody's beat, we can attack that and protect a teammate and rotate. She's got a skill set that she's just now playing, and she's just making plays, and that's been super fun. And, that's the benefit of being in a program. That's where we counter on this portal and all those changes that are happening. It's hard on cultures, and it's hard on getting in a rhythm, and we're certainly the benefit of a really special transfer, so I'm not going to knock on it. But there's also the benefit of having those kids that have the stability of what you're going to be about, so you can see it on the court. And I think there's a lot of quicker learning for some of your underclassmen when they see those reps by the first people in that drill.
Awesome. All right, Coach, this has been great. Idaho State's coming up on Thursday. We'll be back again here on Tuesday night at 6:30. For Coach Bin and Dylan Phillip, as well as Coach Logie and Bryce Zephir, this is Keaton Gillogly saying so long from Montana's Ribbon Chop House. We'll talk again this week. Go Cats.
Go Cats.
This has been Cat Chat, presented by Learfield.
You've been listening to Cat Chat with Matt Logie and Tricia Binford, presented by